Hello ballers, welcome back to my channel. Actually, this is a new channel, so hi, my name is Gladiolus, and this channel will give you all the knowledge and information you need to know about football, like how it began, all about the biographies of the player, about some players who didn't make it through, about some legends, some myths, and all information about football, some fun facts that you might not know. So please subscribe to my channel so in future you will get a lots of updates on this channel. So yeah, let's get with our first topic, that is the origins of football. How football started. Everyone needs to know, bro. The beautiful game. Everyone needs to know how it got started. So let's begin.
That Rooney goal was enough for the 3 points. Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero!
The origins of football, a global game. Trying to pinpoint the exact starting point for what is now the world's most popular sport is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Nobody knows who kicked the ball first time in this world, but we know it's a beautiful game and how it started. But these are some information that I gathered. England may have been the home of football, but the first instances of foot meeting a ball may well have been taken place a thousands of miles away. And as time moved on, the formative game was being adopted and invented in various GSs all over the globe. The second chapter, that is the China link. Traditionalists often talk about the early game being played out with hollow pigs, bladders, which could burst at any moment. Certainly, there is some truth in the assumption. Today, we believe the earliest incarnation of football to have been played with animal skin in ancient China around 2500 BC. The ball was kicked between poles some 30 feet high and may have served a military purpose. Soldiers were trained using the rough and tumble of gameplay, and matches were held to mark important dates in the calendar. The soldiers were meant to play football, so when they used to play, they used to just body push each other with no red cards, they used to lunge at each other, and it was used to mark some important dates in calendar. England was the only one of many countries that played an earlier version of football. This anonymous painting entitled The Game of Football is the Stanza Gloriata kept in the Palazzo Vecchio in Florence. This picture, this painting made where you can see all this chaos in between. I mean, if you played school football, this is how it basically looks like. Let's move on. A game of peace. By AD 50, the Chinese had named the game Su Chu, and early records compared the round ball and square goal to inflating the bladders of an Italian football known as a pallone. This illustration dates from pre-1700s. Now you can see this picture where this man is putting some air in this football, his ball, and this man is sitting. And historians also suggested that ancient Egyptians' fertility rites may have also been linked in some way to form a football. However, a more possibly stage of development was a Mexican game in AD 600, which involved forcing a ball through a hole in the wall of specifically designed court. Certainly, the Mexican came up with the first synthetic footballs. 19th century inventions. 1874, shin guards invented by Samuel Widdowson. He was first to wear them while playing for Nottingham Forest. In 1975, crossbars installed. In 1978, first floodist match played in Sheffield. 1878, whistle used for the first time by umpire of the match between Nottingham Forest and Sheffield Norfolk. In 1890, goals nets invented and painted by Liverpool-based Mr. Brodie. So in 1890, the goal nets were invented and painted for the first time by Liverpool Mr. Brodie. In 1890, old Etonians first to use the goal nets. So the Etonians were the first to use goal nets at that time. The basic equipment worn by the players has changed drastically in design over the decades, but remains essential is that as laid down by Law 4 of the laws of the game. It states The basic compulsory equipment of a player shall consist of a jersey or a shirt, shorts, stockings, shin guards, and a footwear. So these are all the basic needs that we obviously know right now. But at that time, people used to even fucking play on jeans, bro, fucking suit and all shit. So this is these were the essential needs that they needed at that time to play football. Like we know right now, but at that time, it wasn't that regular that players used to wear a perfect attire to play football. They used to just get off their house, smoke a cigarette, and go play football. The gang warfare. By the time the game was developing in England, it had taken a strangely comic and occasionally tragic turn for the worse. The earliest stories of football date from around AD 1100 and involve a curt chasing of a ball throughout city streets by gangs of youngsters egged by their parents. There was a little organization, either in terms of fixtures of rules, yet the foundations for the development of the game is its host country had been laid. So this picture that I am showing you is an illustration of street football in medieval England. Games such as this were unorganized and often ended in gang violence. Breaking the rules. Throughout the next 700 years or so, football became a source of inspiration for the masses and of great construction to the authorities. Edward II was the first monarch to call cribs on the uproar the game caused, and it seems he may well have had a point. What began as a game of chasing soon developed into near warfare, with scores of players forming sides and causing havoc in urban areas as they rampage through pitches hundreds of yards long. There are reports of serious injuries and even deaths, as well as complaints from most stated residents alarmed by the disruptions of football caused. FA Cup hooliganism. In 1889, the semi-final replay between Sheffield United and Liverpool was abandoned at half-time following a series of pitch invasions. The game had been handled so many times that it took 90 minutes to complete the first half, after which the referee called proceedings to a halt. Country troubles. In rural areas, the problem was exacerbated by the vast amounts of space afforded to the game. Whole villages would come out to chase the makeshift ball, and the absence of rules meant kicking, punching, and crushing were all acceptable. The traditional Shove Tuesday clashes were particularly troublesome. Successions of English rules and lawmakers issued edicts attempting to crack down on the game, but it proved nearly impossible to stop at the same time. The Americans Indians had developed a beach version of the game, in which players would disguise themselves in masks to evade blame for dangerous challenges. And the initiatives had begun, playing on ice, shooting balls stuffed with gas through goals miles apart. Football was taking off in many different ways all over the world. The most players sent off in one match is 5, where Plymouth players and 2 from Chesterfield were ordered off following a mass last-minute brawl in the second division fixture at Slattergate in 22 February 1997. Somewhat ironically, it was the public schools who gave the whole different affairs some order. Oxford and Cambridge had accepted football as a competitive sport as early as the 17th century, and Eton Howard, Shrewsbury, and Rugby quickly followed suit. The implementation of rules worked both ways, with Victorian values gradually disappearing. The school saw the sport as a vital way to instill discipline, while also disassociating the young gentlemen who played it from the lower class. Their street games, many still consider football too vulgar a game for upper class. As you can see the picture, this is the picture of the Howard School football team photographed in 1867. Alright, this is it for this video. So if you like this video, please go down, like, comment and subscribe, and drop down your comment. Come on bro, I'm doing so much hard work for you guys, and this channel is new, so I will be giving some more updates on football that you would not know. And if you want to know what the next video would be on, it would be on how football in England began. So if you don't want to know how the beautiful game began in England, you need to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification right there, so you can be updated whenever I upload my this new video that would be on football in England, how it began in England. So yeah guys, drop down comment on next video want, and I'll see you next time. Until then, keep bowling, keep loving, and keep supporting. Goodbye.